Hey everybody, it's me again, and I'm joined by Aeons from the Isle of Man, progressive metal band. Yeah, I know. So first of all, my first question I always like to ask: Aeons, what's in the name? Why that name? What is it? What is it? You know, what does it suggest for you? What is the point? You know, not the point, but you know, what? Why? I know it's hard to find out.
Can we get into an origin story straight away?
You can go for that, yeah. If that
many years ago, Simon, I was around Simon's. Well, we were mastering something, weren't we?
It was right.
Or my old band were doing a master for my old band, and he said, check this out. I've just written this song. It's called Strange Aeons, which is one of the songs on the album. And I heard it and went, am I allowed to swear?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell. I went, that's an amazing song. If you ever need a singer, if you ever get a band together, you ever need a singer, then fucking hit me up first, please. And so that's where. So when we were looking for a name, wasn't it? Well, like, what should we call ourselves? Yeah.
Essentially,
Successful breaking up a bit.
Skippy was in a successful band called The Waters Rising, which is probably from
successful.
Yeah, for the Isle of Man. And you watched your drummer, didn't you?
So, a tragic retirement accident.
It was tragic. So they decided to replace a drummer with a guitarist, which makes sense, and then decided I would join as the other guitarist.
Right.
And that became what's going on now.
In reality, I wasn't even involved, and Scott rang me and said, "Oh, I've started a new band with Simon," and I went,
"Is that right?"
Yeah, and I went, "Am I in the band?" And he went, "Of course not, of course." And then I was like, "All right." So, yeah.
Cried a lot.
I cried a lot.
We're having a bit of sound difficulties actually, but you could break up a little bit now and again. But introduce yourselves. So what do you do in the band, each of you?
My name's Skippy, and I am CEO of Aeons, and I'm also the vocalist.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm Simon. I'm the guitarist,
stroke songwriter,
and
cool.
I'm the CTO, aren't I?
What's chief technical officer? Well, as you can see by the fact you can't even set this fucking thing up properly. Straight away.
So you said you came from a song called Strange Aeons. That's like H.P. Lovecraft, isn't it?
Yeah. So basically, when we in a Facebook group chat, we were shortening the name of the songs that we were doing, and Scott just said Aeons in the meaning Strange Aeons for song. We're going to practice it. Like, that's a cool name.
That's a cool name for a band.
So that was it. And the name is, so it just sounds like expansive and long, and all our songs are very long. So
except for the short ones.
Except for the short ones, and the really long ones. So we thought that's a cool name, and it's also kind of spacey, and we both like space.
Yeah, we all like that sort of that space theme.
And it's sort of suggestive.
Most band names are shit, though. Let's face it, they are shit, right? And I don't think that's one of the shit ones. So that's all right.
And it's also very top of the lexicon for metal bands.
Yes.
Unless your band's called Aaron Must Die, which should be our nickname. Band.
Oh, yeah. Well, Aaron the Aardvark must die. Exactly. Get it all.
Aaron the Aardvark must die.
I said we should maybe AE like the Aelfric from the ancient. That would put it definitely at the top of the list. But that was just
mate, we're talking in front of metal people, not fucking geniuses. Stop fucking being so clever. He's very clever, Simon. Too clever for his own good.
Right. Did you say Aaron A. Aardvark? Yeah,
why not?
Yeah, fair enough. So you were reading 2000 AD as well, then, Judge Dredd?
Yeah, man, I've got Fogs, Future Shocks over
there. Cool. Right, so from the Isle of Man, how many bands are on the Isle of Man?
Well, first of all, neither of us are from the Isle of Man.
No.
Right, yeah.
As you can tell from his accent, he's from down under.
Down under New Zealand?
Best country in the world. Later on. How did you end up in the Isle of Man?
My dad's Manx. £10 pom. Have you heard of a £10 pom?
No.
Oh, yeah.
£10 poms, that's what the Australians and New Zealanders called. In the 60s, they had a big recruitment drive to get people to Australia and New Zealand. So it cost 10 quid and you got on a boat and you got off at the other end, you got given a job, and like the work camps, really. Funny enough, if you went to New Zealand and you signed up for this £10 thing, you had to work for this particular company for 3 years, wherever they put you. You didn't have a choice. But yeah, so long story short, my dad is from here originally.
Right.
And I'm from the UK. And this is better than where I lived. So here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, because where I live was shit. So this place is much.
Where did you live? Do we have anyone from
Grimsby?
Grimsby.
8 out of 4 that will be don't know how the internet works.
You just alienated probably 3 people from Grimsby that were going to watch this one day.
You never know.
Don't alienate anyone, Simon.
All right, yeah.
Okay. So when did you actually form then? So when was it you actually got together? Because you was just say you was in the band before, and then you just started writing a song, and you decided you're gonna make a new band. How long ago was that?
So you said to me in the chat earlier that you found us both on the Encyclopedia Metallicum. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah, that's where I get a lot of my bands.
And we're both listed as both being in twice for being in. I was in Chiaroscuro and he was in The Waters Rising, both of which are in there.
And what about Divide by Zero?
That was never released anything. So
right, okay.
But we've all been in bands on the Isle of Man since what? 2003 for me.
Well, we're quite old. We're not going to. You never ask a gentleman his age, but we are quite getting on with it. So we've had time to be in quite a few bands.
To ferment our talent.
But this is far and away, for me, the best band I've ever been in, and I've been in quite a few.
Yes, I should say that.
Yeah.
But how many bands you got on the Isle of Man at the moment? Any idea? How many metal bands on the Isle of Man? Do you represent the whole of the metal community?
No. So the Isle of Man per capita, I reckon, has got more bands than anywhere else in the UK. I've been all around the UK and been to almost every town. And there's a good music scene in all of them, but per capita, there's what 95,000.
There's nothing else to do except for shag and drink. And once you've seen the women here, you don't want to shag that much.
Yeah.
I'm joking. My wife's brilliant. You're gorgeous, sweetheart.
It's like 95,000 people on the island according to the census, which is obviously vastly incorrect.
Yeah.
So we call it 110,000, right? But there must be 100 bands.
Yeah.
Easily, and that's not including some of the acoustic acts that I don't know of. But every there was at one point like 10 years ago every pub in Ireland had a live music on, and there still is a good live music scene.
There's just nowhere to play.
A lot of it's covers, I grant you, but there's a lot of covers bands out there. And every Friday there's probably about 10 or 12 at least in the gig guide. And this is a small island. Only like maybe Douglas the capital, Ramsey in the north, and Peel in the west are like the 3 major towns. But there's still so much music going on. I've never been in a community like this. Almost everybody will know if a musician in the band, if they're not actually in the band themselves.
If they're not in a band.
Yeah. 1 degree of separation.
And there's a couple of drummers and a couple of guitars here in every band. Nell's in every band except for ours on the whole island, I think. Brian. Yeah. But to answer your question, probably
2016.
No, we're talking about the metal bands here. Original metal bands, maybe 5.
Bruzy,
Bruises, Man in the Woods,
Fletcher Christian,
Swarf Damage, and us. As far as there's probably others that we haven't heard of yet, but there's 5 metal bands releasing original content, as far as I know.
Right. Okay. Sounds breaking up. Was that third band called Puncher Christian, or did I hear that wrong?
No, Fletcher Christian Mutiny.
Oh, Fletcher Christian. Okay. Obviously, Puncher Christian. I thought, black metal.
I'm not quite sure what highly conservative Isle of Man would go for that.
Yeah, no.
It's what's it like on the Isle of Man generally for living? They've got kind of like being a London like big city guy. I mean, I'm not want to say about do you have the Wicker Man and that kind of thing? And I have heard.
Do you like liver? Do you like bacon? Come to my museum on the Isle of Man. Remember that Barso?
No.
Come to the Isle of Man.
I think actually, I mentioned it. I think it was, that's probably where I got it from. But what's it like? Because
brilliant.
I'll tell you what we don't have is COVID.
Yeah. We don't have COVID.
So we are actually Aeons technically is kind of a bit in a very specific position right now. We are the only metal band doing regular gigs, getting reviews in websites and magazines.
Yeah.
Because nobody else is playing. So a mate of mine who runs rather by accident, by design, we are right now the only seriously heavy metal band actually playing, right?
Not even that heavy, mate.
Yeah, well, we are.
Yeah.
But you can only play the Isle of Man, though. You can't go on tour around the UK.
Not yet.
No, that's the point. So 2020 was going to be like a year of us going out and doing a lot of things, and that was just taken away from us. Yeah. And when it's taken away from us, that means we can't promote, because being on island means you can't just go to Liverpool and do a couple of gigs if you live in, Preston or whatever. we can't. There's 90 miles or 60 miles, whatever it is, of water, or 4-hour ferry journey between us and the nearest big city. So going out to the UK and playing a gig is
they've got windows with glass in them over there.
So if we want to go and do like a long weekend, we have to put 3 gigs in, and getting 3 people to put you on, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's hard, and so it's a lot of money. So we were going to buckle down and get that done in 2020, and then all this happened, and we're just stuck. We're still playing. We're still making music, and all the bands in the Isle of Man are playing to each other, but it's a closed loop. We're not really gaining much. So we're using situations like this and our YouTube channel to try and really promote us in social media.
Yeah.
But we can't do that until more people know about us, because that's the kind of
the vicious circle.
The vicious cycle, yeah. So anything we can do to promote ourselves is happily and lovingly accepted.
Yeah.
So thank you very much.
Yeah.
No worries, mate. No worries. So when you so you got together, what was the first album? That was a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. We just found out it was actually a year ago.
It's a year ago. Last week, I think.
Yeah.
Paper anniversary.
So it was what you would call a soft launch, in that we didn't really advertise it too much. We just tried it out with the people here in the Isle of Man, and then when we realized it was good, we got some really good reviews around the world. And then I started noticing our Bandcamp was really filling up the sales, and I was thinking, where are these people coming from?
Didn't we make some money on fucking Spotify?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Didn't we make £12 or something?
No, we made $27 on Spotify.
That's a fucking lot of money for Spotify. That's like 1 million views. We're successful. I can move over, Metallica. You boys on the block now.
Apparently Spotify think that's enough to continue, but what's like 2 packs of guitars. But essentially, we're doing really well. I wouldn't expect it. When you see sales coming in, and I'm shipping all these CDs off to fucking Austria and New Zealand and Brazil, and you think, the internet's amazing, isn't it? The internet is really bringing people together.
Anyone here from Brazil?
There's quite a few Americans in the chat.
Oh, hey, Americans! vote well, vote well. You know who to vote for. Not that guy. Not that guy. Could be either.
We were having a chat, and Lizzie said it's okay if you all want to come back. We're happy to accept you.
I say that sometimes as a joke.
Yeah, always so about 76 stuff. It's all fun.
Man, tea was overrated anyway.
Yeah, but don't bring your guns, because that's just
right. So my mate Farley's asking about, well, how would you describe your music? How would you describe your sound? If someone want, like, obviously a lot of people here haven't heard you before, sell your sound to them. What are you like?
Ooh, man.
Yeah, crack on.
So we start.
He'll answer, and then I'll answer properly.
Exactly. So we style ourselves as a technical progressive metal band, because we can't think of anything else that will fit. We doesn't matter what we don't have a specific genre, but we tend towards music that's interesting. So I've got a very low attention span. So has he. We write 12-minute long songs, but we're constantly changing. Constantly changing. And his chief also quality control. He can say, interest, Simon, interest. So I just keep putting more and more riffs in, and
then I say, too many riffs, Simon. Fucking too many riffs.
Right. As a songwriter, I give typics. I want the song to be melodic and memorable. I want it to be heavy as fuck as possible, and the chorus to be catchy. And I'm happy to think that we have done that in all our releases so far, and the next EP is going to be even better.
Yeah.
So if you want, I know we're talking about it, so you have to paint a picture using words you already understand. So if you like Opeth, if you like Dream Theater, if you like apparently Cynic, although I'm not quite sure about that one, but if you like those kind of progressive bands that do things a bit differently, but are still quite out, like Mastodon.
There's elements of all sorts. I mean, there's Slipknot in there in places. Yeah. There's fucking Killswitch Engage in places.
There's deathcore, there's prog, acoustic stuff. So we just don't care.
We're not a band where you can get an album from a band, and they might be brilliant, but you listen to 8 songs and 8 songs are variants of each other. Don't fucking diss other bands. Unprofessional.
I'm saying that we listened to that song, it was incredible.
Yeah,
but you know, in that genre, that album is going to sound kind of similar to, and it does sound very similar to that song. They're all good, but after a while, we think, I want to hear an acoustic piece. I want to hear a cover.
And seriously, anyone out there, seriously, just listen to our album because it's got a bit of everything, but it's not all over the place where it's functionless or it doesn't have a focus. It ties in, but one of my favorite ever bands ever is Queen, and if you're a Queen fan, you know that they'd have an album that have a really heavy song on it, that have a fucking vaudeville track, that have something that sounded like it came from the fucking 40s. Yeah, and every song had its merit, and we're sort of like that, but wrapped in metal as opposed to everything.
So it's like the first album starts with like a pound of 4 minutes just to grab you, and then we go straight into a 9-minute multi-cyclical sing-along with acoustic parts, really fucking thumping heavy parts, because we don't really care. And the third one starts with nearly 2.5 minutes, I think, of just very, very clean, beautiful vocal and clean guitar and very light drums. But
why did we get another singer for that one?
Yeah, we did. I used the.
Did you fucking replace me? He's always replacing people.
The box.
Oh, brilliant.
So, I think I noticed that all the songs on there started off quite slow, because when I played you on my podcast the other day, I was trying to find like a good kicking one to start off with, because like Skippy did me an intro which is really like sort of wild. But I was trying to find.
I was like, that's brilliant, that's me.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Skippy from Aeons, and you're listening to Hard Free.
Yeah. But then I had to start with like a gentle kind of guitar bit. I was trying to find a song that really sort of kicked off from the start.
That's because Vampire, you don't track.
You don't track. You got four.
Yeah. In fact, you choose the second least heavy of the entire album. But yeah,
I can't sit and listen to a whole album every time I'm trying to choose a track. I'd like skip to them. Oh, fuck it, that'll do. They're all good. They're all good. But and that's the thing. If anyone wants to listen to them, your Bandcamp, your Spotify, all the links to the band's pages are in the description down below.
Yeah, and just go to aeons.online. And if you can, if there's people out there, please subscribe on YouTube, because
please,
we are like that far away from getting over a threshold where Google will then promote us more in people's feeds.
Yeah.
So once you pass the 100 mark,
and we're like 88 or something.
Yeah, it's so close.
12 guys, please.
Yeah. Well, there's 11 people. There's 11 people in chat now, so the links in the blog description down below.
One of those 11 people must have a friend that they can ask as well.
Yeah.
And you also in the chat must have YouTube accounts, so just please, just click please, because then we get. That means all our tags, and if you didn't know, this is how it works for small bands like us. So when you get past 100, all the tags you've got start. If you tag some of your progressive metal, for instance, on your videos, which we have at Evelyn, then anybody who searches for that tag will then include us in the results. And it's kind of it's a bit communist, and that everybody gets an equal share of that tag result, because they don't know what their makeup is. So it's actually a fairer way of delivering content from small bands to the people who want to search for specific search results.
You know, you're taking up like a minute of our time.
What I'm saying is, but you're taking more time by complaining about me. I'm going to get another beer. But what I'm saying is, it really helps for small bands to do that one thing.
Yeah.
Like going to Bandcamp, yes, of course, but that supports us. But really, subscribing on YouTube is the thing.
Right.
It really makes a difference. Oh, and Spotify. Yeah.
Right. Well, all the links to that are all in the blog post anyway, so people can go there and listen to your stuff. But I've got sort of a question from the Who's Your Nerd. I've got to paraphrase it slightly. He's asking, who would you guys like to tour with? I'm thinking more, who would you like to come to your Isle of Man? Do you have a venue big enough there for big bands to come along? And if you did, who would you like to support?
Who would I like to tour with?
Or consciously, who would we take to come over here?
Anyone that fucking take us.
Yeah, anybody's cool, man.
Anyone. We don't care. We're not fucking fussy. We just want to get play in front of more than 50 people.
We can do that a lot, but there's Guernsey is also COVID-free, right? So Guernsey's got no lockdown, and they're all playing it in Guernsey as well. And there are a couple of metal bands in Guernsey, and I really want more than anything. I want to do a little island thing where Guernsey, Jersey, and the Isle of Man, and we just go and play those places. It's a small community. We haven't had kind of our type of band before, and bring those bands to the Isle of Man and just spreading a bit of love around our island communities, and just show that we all in this together. Now, the UK gets all the good stuff. We should have a little bit of it ourselves, I think.
But to answer your question, I mean, who wouldn't want to jump on an Opeth tour? Yeah, because we do sound a bit like Opeth. So
yeah.
As far as the way we structure songs and stuff like that.
Or Eskimo Callboy, because we want to be fucking fun.
That sounds like fun. I don't even know.
Bye, so I'm pretty unlike you.
No.
Oh, fucking.
I don't even know who you are.
He's so old.
I am old.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the album a bit more. So, a tragic end. A tragic end. That's not a good name for an auspicious name for a first album, is it? A tragic end.
It's brilliant.
Stevie's going to complain at me now because I'm going to tell a 30-second story about why that's called a tragic end.
No, you crack on, mate.
Is that all right?
Yeah. You just wasted 5 seconds.
So the tragic end is that it's a concept piece of the album, and it's supposed to be about a guy who's in hospital and he's staring at a photograph of his father, who was about the same age in the photograph as he is now. And his father died at about that age of a specific disease, a hereditary disease, which he just butterfly effect. That's not a butterfly effect, but we just we realised that he's got.
It's not the plot, the butterfly effect. It's that noise. Oh, you carry on.
I was getting my chaos through, right? But and in that photograph, he realizes he's got it at the same time, so he's not going to want to live. But the reason why he's in hospital is because his wife is just giving birth to their first child, who is a boy, and then they also will eventually have a tragic end. So it's a triumvirate of sadness, because I don't write songs that are fucking happy.
No, you don't.
If you want to hear about, aren't I happy? I'm having a good time.
Simon Strength is writing terribly down lyrics with really happy choruses.
That's how it should be.
You know, I've got cancer. I've got 3 days to live. Woo! That's.
I haven't played that one yet. How do you know that one?
Oh, I know you too well. You too well.
So yeah,
So
they're all miserable stories, man, and that's the point, because misery is more fun to write about, but also to have fun doing it.
I
Right?
like to masturbate too, though.
Oh, really hard. It's like, I mean, like the Queen's like too old now, isn't she? Basically, she's got to find something else. So there you
What
go.
a band.
That's your fantasy.
Oh, yeah, shit. Yeah, sorry. Sorry, Greg. We digress.
That's all right, mate. You can digress away. I just find it a bit. I'm not sure if it's just me, my hearing, but I can't hear it very well when you both talk together. Sometimes it's like it kind of like it feels like it's distorting.
Oh, just
I don't know
tell
if
me
it's
something really witty and funny.
Yeah, it sounded like you were from the actions. It looked like it was good. It looked like it was good. I got a general something like wanking to on the Queen or with Queen or something like that. Or
That's about right. Yeah. No, very sexy.
Using £5 notes or something like that. I didn't quite catch it. But anyway, so yes, we talk about it. So let's good opportunity to talk about the lyrics then. So maybe you could go like through the lyrics of the first. Do you write all the lyrics yourself, or are the other people involved?
Me and Skippy do.
And do you do musical lyrics as well, Skippy?
I help. He writes everything, and then I help fix it.
Right.
Along with the other boys.
Yeah, but I think unlike most bands, we talk a lot about the lyrics, don't we? And we talk a lot about their meaning and why the song is that way. Just a serious point for a second, because I think the songwriting in some bands is a bit. I don't see the coherence between the performance of the vocalist and what he's singing about, unless he's angry. And that's fine, but we're not an angry band. I mean, he's an angry man, but we're not an angry band in terms of all our vocals are screamed. So when it comes to singing with passion, especially a chorus, you have to understand what that song is about. So even if Skippy doesn't write the lyrics for the song, we talk about what the meaning is.
I don't even know what the songs are about, half of them. I'm one of that very small breed of singer where I don't listen to lyrics, and I don't and I ask to be turned down in the mix. Don't I? Turn me down, Simon. Turn me down. I'm too loud.
You like you say, but you don't give a shit about the lyrics.
I like the music. For me, vocals are just another instrument in the whole collage of the music, and I don't listen to what. I don't even know what all the lyrics to any of my favorite songs, because I'm not bothered. I just want to listen to the music. I just want to hear the drums and the guitars, and the vocals are just like on top for me. But he's the one who thinks. I'm the one who shouts.
I'm a writer as well, so I'm writing a book, and I worry about trolls essentially taking my work to pieces. So I work very hard to make sure that I've covered all my bases well.
Isn't your book about trolls?
No, it's not.
The ones that live under the bridge?
No.
Oh.
No. Well, no. So it's a fantasy, but it's not about trolls.
That's stupid.
Okay.
In case any people chat's written a book about trolls, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So
People who watch this can't read.
that's when I'm watching something.
Sorry, we have no viewers. We have -4
Man,
viewers.
bring you back to like 20 minutes ago. Simon, stop alienating people. And look what's fucking happening.
I'm only joking. It's all a bit of noise.
So what
yeah,
is your book about then when it comes?
Oh, it's a super realistic high fantasy. So, but I wouldn't go into that.
Right.
But essentially, it gives you the idea that lyrics are part of how you create a story, right? So it's how you deliver a story to the listener. So it's important to get them right, and we work
do
a lot.
All joking
aside,
aside,
a lot to get those lyrics crafted and delivered properly, so that they make not only cognitive sense to the listener in the song, but also if you read them as a piece of as a work as a literary work, then you would also have, oh, that's kind of cool. I enjoy just reading that.
All right. Go to the chat for a question again. We've got Werewolf by Lunchtime. It says, do you live on Jack Daniels like Lemmy used to, or orange juice like Satan?
Simon is sponsored by Jack Daniels.
Well, the album, isn't it? Yeah. So it's never too far away. Let's put it there in private race. There we go.
Emergency rations.
Sponsorship. I'd rather the Jack Daniels sponsorship than an early ball sponsorship.
But living on the Isle of Man, we do have quite a lot of alcoholism going on, don't we?
Oh yes, exactly.
So we do all like a drink here. Yeah. Even more so, probably. I think we're like Britain, and then add another 30% of alcoholism.
Oh yeah, yeah. So,
there is a lot of drinking on the island because there isn't that much to do, really, is it?
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah. But
Right.
yeah, so we're not teetotal by any means. No.
Right. Okay. So obviously behind you, we can see you're working on the new release. But did you do all the recording, all the production on the original album as well?
Sold on here.
Yeah.
Every little bit.
Both of you guys together, or is that just you, Simon?
Well, it's all of us working together to give us.
We do have 3 other members: Scott on guitar, Justin on drums, and what's the other guy called? The bass player? Joe with an E at the end. J-O and then an E, apparently.
Cool. But where do you record now? You got a studio? You got a room? You got actual...
This is it. So nobody needs studios anymore. You only need studios for vocals.
And going to be live drums.
And this room is pretty dead, so it does the job.
This is where I do. This is how I do vocals.
Cool.
And that's it. And we're in the studio. Look at that.
So what's this? This is your house, Simon. Is this your house that you're in now?
Yeah, it's my front room, and this is where I basically watch. You watch TV a bit, get up, come to this, and then it's fine. This is my life. I fucking love it, man.
Yeah,
I fucking love it.
Do you have to worry about noise with the neighbours, or the neighbours like 10 miles away or something?
What he just did? No. They're all around us, but nobody can hear anything.
We're right in the middle of the outskirts of Douglas.
Yeah, so Douglas is like the capital city, and we're city. Fuck, it's a tackle.
And there's just houses everywhere, but there's people everywhere. So you don't really. It's not like you're out. I live in the country, so if I tried to, I do. Yeah,
you live in.
If I tried to do singing in the country, I'd have my 5 neighbours would fucking kick off.
Isn't that weird that I've got neighbours 10 feet away, but I can make more noise?
Because you live in a city with traffic and everything going past, all the noise gets deadened. Yeah. So sound travels in the country for miles, but here it only goes to the next building. Boom.
Yeah. So to answer your question, it's all done here. It's all done by us, and he can scream his head off, and nobody can hear it. Yeah. So it's fine. And obviously we have a practice room. We record anything, but so it's super loud. But most of it's just done in the front room. Yeah.
So the drums you record in the practice room.
All drums done in the practice room. Yeah. That I couldn't quite fit them in here, but yeah, all drums are done in there.
Someone's like, who's the nerds asking about shirts, autograph LPs? Can they order that off your Bandcamp? Do you have shirts on your Bandcamp?
So buy some shirts.
I am suitably on brand tonight with this. Where you decided to, you're on brand. You're on brand.
Also, apart from being a singer, I just take a photo of that. I'm actually a metal artist, like with metal. So if anyone wants to Google that, I've got a little Etsy shop there. You can buy some fucking £6,000 fucking dragon if you want, or anything else like that. I make fucking metal art. So
it's a sculpture.
Yeah.
Right, cool.
Bandcamp comes from essentially us. So if you want anything, just send me a message on Bandcamp or info@Aeons. info@aeons.online is our email. It's on the website. Anything you want, come straight to me and Skip, and we can sort that out.
And the rest of the band.
Yeah, but we're the ones to look at it.
Oh yeah, we are.
Yeah. We're the ones looking at it on the social media, exactly. Because you'll come to us.
They're fucking great, the other boys, but they're young. We're old. See, we realise we haven't got much long to live, so we better pull our fingers out. They're all like 20 years younger than us, so they can.
Oh right.
And it's not them at our age doing exactly the same thing as they right now.
And we're dead.
We're doing quick.
We'll be dead though, Simon, so we can't enjoy it. Shame.
Bit like a success.
Now they know what it's like.
So, so you can send anything to us. We just want to be friends, and we're all friends now, aren't we? On YouTube, we like you.
We don't have a manager. We don't have an agent. We don't have distribution. So anything that comes straight to us. So
Right.
if you want a shirt, order a shirt. We'll make you one. But speak to us. We'll fucking make you one in your size. We'll make you a purple one if you want one. We don't. We're not,
Yeah. But we have got the new EP coming out, which is going to have some.
and it's going to be awesome.
Fucking great artwork on it. Like it's going to look really great.
And I have to say, I know we haven't broached it yet, but the new stuff is, for me, significantly better than anything on the old.
And that's not saying the old stuff is shit.
No, it's not shit. No, the old stuff's great. But I think the new stuff for me is we're starting to hit our straps now. I think.
Every band has to say, and every actor has to say, doesn't know me. Oh, this is my best work.
This is my
Yeah.
best work.
This really is our best work. And they all say that too. So I'm going to caveat that this really is the
Like
best.
Daz is fucking great until new Daz comes along, and then old Daz is shit. And then new Daz comes along, and new Daz is shit.
This will make the sheets as white as possible until they turn sort of yellowy stained. Yeah. So if you want your sheets
You
yellowy
think tend to go a bit yellow when you get to our age.
Yeah. So,
Okay.
We're not that old, really. I am.
yeah, you are. So yeah, the new EP is going to come out soon. We've got 3 tracks recorded. Everyone is one of them. That's one you played. Thank you very much a few podcasts ago.
Yeah.
And it's also linked on this little
Yeah.
menu here.
In the blog. Yeah, there's a video for it in the blog. So you're jumping ahead a bit. You're jumping ahead a bit now.
Oh, sorry.
Let's move on to the new release in a little while.
Oh, sorry. What were we discussing? We forget.
We're trying to exhaust the first album yet. How's the reaction been? How's the reaction been? Have you had a lot of press, reviews, and that?
Well, if you go to the website, I've put some of the more glowing ones up there. So it's getting like 9 out of 10 a lot, which is great.
The worst one we got was 7.5 out of 10, wasn't it?
That was, yeah. I mean, and that's because
was Spain or Portugal.
That's from a guy who kind of, I get the impression, liked a lot of black metal. So he was going on about a lot of black metal bands in the review, and I had to translate it from Portuguese, you're right, into English, and it didn't translate very well. But I get the idea he was wanting really a black metal band. So that's fine. So,
but even so, yeah. I mean, we haven't had a bad review as of yet, which is great because I mean, in this connected world,
yeah,
you only have to put one little toe out of place, and you're getting fucking hammered for it.
Yeah,
and we haven't had a bad review, and I'm fucking proud of that.
And you know what? If we did, I would still put it on the website because I'm really honest to people.
Yeah.
You a reviewer is only somebody who tells you what.
So if anyone wants to write a bad review, fuck you.
One of my very good friends runs a reviewer of heavy metal music, and I have to wonder sometimes how he's able to offer such like high scores, because he seems like he likes everything equally, but then you realize it's because he loves music so much.
Well, what he told me was he doesn't put anything that scores less than like 5 out of 10. He won't. He just
On the
won't put it
website.
on the site.
Yeah.
Just like I'm not.
Because that hurts people, doesn't it? So there is a tendency in music communities small like metal for there being an overabundance of positive reviews because they don't want to.
The guy's name's Chris. He runs a site called Worship Metal. I don't know if you've heard of it. We've never heard of him.
No.
He's from England, and he relocated over here. We've never met. He's been here 8 years. We never met, and he's had this site Worship Metal for years.
Yeah.
And my mate Dave says, I work with this guy called Chris who runs a website. I said, oh, what is it? Worship Metal. And anyway, he got the first copy of our album, and he just fucking loved it. He loved it. So there's no, he's our mate. He gave us a good review. He reviewed that album before it even met us. Yeah. But he fucking loves.
And we're now good friends because
they are good friends because of that. But
yeah, you realise what a massive. He's got one of the biggest metal webzines there is. Worshipmetal.com. I think you should check it out. It's.
Well, this is great. Don't be putting Don't be putting.
They are not in competition with each other.
Yeah, it's all a big.
No, it's all good, friends. It's all good. Even if I don't know, I've heard the name, but it's like, yeah, everyone's, as long as it's spreading the word of metal, it's cool.
Yeah. There's no video element to it. It's all written. It's all written reviews and a lot of top 10 lists of your favorite death metal bands from 1986. But
Everything from 1986.
But essentially, it's also an any metal head.
Put it this way: if we got a time machine and went back and released our album in 1986, he would have given it fucking 10 out of 10.
Before we move on to the new stuff, we've got a couple of questions from chat. Let's do quick fire chat questions. Like some of them are a little bit silly. Some of them I'm not sure how serious they are. Good. So Alex Harper says, "Would you rather eat 50 egg-sized horses? Would you rather eat 50 egg-sized horses or one horse-sized egg?"
One horse-sized egg. Next question.
No, it's 50 egg-sized horses, obviously.
Why?
Because they're meaty.
Yeah, but this more 50 egg-sized horses does not make the same amount of mass than one horse-sized egg.
When you eat a horse, you don't eat all of it.
Yes, you do. You eat everything.
By mass.
Do you not study sustainable fucking cookery?
Yes.
No. Yeah, you eat everything. The liver, the pancreas, the unicorn horn, everything.
I'll take my answer, Alex.
Okay.
Thanks, Alex.
Well, next question. Werewolf by Lunchtime says, "Do you think bands will still be playing metal in 100 years' time?"
Not this one. I'm nearly a fucking 100 now.
There might be cloning technology in the future. You might still be playing. Yeah.
No, because you wouldn't want it. But they really did break the mold when they made you, because like never fucking again.
No, I know.
Because metal's always gonna be around. It wasn't right. It's always gonna be a culture that wants to make music that people don't like, and specifically make a culture that is an antithesis to what the popular culture is. In its 20s, it was sort of blues and jazz, and then beatnik and beat pop, and then rock and roll. And this is metal's just a
metal like being like one of the longest genres that's never died a death. It's always evolved. Sometimes terribly, like hair metal. Or power metal. I'm sorry, I just can't be doing power metal.
Blues, jazz, country.
Yeah.
But pop music changes so much.
I remember reading that years ago, video games were gonna be the next music. Music was gonna die dead, and then streaming was gonna kill fucking bands because no one's gonna make them. Look, as long as people like us want to make music, people are gonna make it. And metal will be around for as long as I think it was human civilization.
There's always been one to make it. Nobody's always going to agree with this. What's better than getting on the stage and screaming your lungs about how much you want to fucking change the world?
Or even just sit in your bedroom while you're having a sad wank over something and just listen to some Aeons.
So if you're going to change the world, you can do it with an arty pop song, someone on an acoustic guitar, and have 1 million people at a festival sing it back to you, and that's incredible. Or you can get on stage and have an angry New Zealand man shout it at you.
Fucking right in your face.
Which one would you rather?
Yeah, it's a bit coming out. No COVID.
Exactly. Just 2 bathroom trips from 1 hour set as well, isn't it now?
Yeah. A quick question regarding what you were just saying, Skippy. If you was to put headphones on and listen to Aeons and have a wank, what would be the best song for that?
Oh,
Blue Shift.
Yes, it's pretty, isn't it? Yeah.
When you start off, it's just acoustic. You just glide it in. A bit of KY or some spit. I don't know, some of your mum's casserole juice or something. Glide it in there, and then as it speeds up, climax. And all done in 7 minutes, which is I can probably fit 8 wanks in that time. Clean cleanup and a cup of tea.
Oh yeah.
Right. Next question.
You get good at things.
An old hand. Right. Chris Jennings wants to know when you're going to release a Gomez covers album.
Right, look at it. An old hand.
You can see the stains.
Sorry, we interrupt.
Sorry. Great.
Chris Jennings wants to know when you're going to release a Gomez covers album.
Chris
Jennings of worshipmetal.com, I believe.
Chris, go back to writing. You've got too many top 10 lists of the worst death metal bands of 1992 to write.
Yeah,
you should be watching this.
It's too contemporary for you, Chris.
Yeah, we're talking about 2020. This is not right for you.
Right. Comic Mag Musings wants to know what current bands you listen to. My mate Comic Mag's Musing wants to know what current bands you're listening to. Metal or other genres.
Definitely Sword to Prevail. Error. Alpha Dog, even though I just said that. Spirit Box, yes. A Ghost Kid I've just been introduced to. Actually, my Core Boy's really good. The names are starting to escape me a little bit. There was the Contortionist I listened to the other day. That was pretty cool. I try and stay up with modern music so I can learn what other people.
Terribly, and to my shame, I don't listen to music. I play video games. I've got a little kid and a business and a wife, and if I've got any spare time, I play video games. So I play Last of Us 2, fucking anything on PC. And yeah, so unfortunately, but I do listen to a lot of Billy Talent because they're fucking awesome. So that's what I'm listening
to. Can you not listen to music while you're doing your sculptures?
Yeah, well, I play a demo because I've got it on my phone. So I just, and then I go, Simon, fucking, and then I make notes about how he needs to change that because shit.
How much you hate it?
Just, we've got a song, we've got a song now. So it's 8-3 right?
Well,
9-3 right, and we're still not.
I think you got the record. Tragic Cam was 14.
Right.
Last
question from the public for now. Then we're going to move on talking about the upcoming release and the single and the video that you did. Someone wants to know, would you ever do a rap cover as Simon is a secret Public Enemy fan? This is a cool.
It's not secret, man. I fucking love Public Enemy.
Yes, and I fucking love rap.
The Goats and NWA and the Far Side. And anything rap from the 90s, not this Stipping Crystal bullshit from 2020. And that mumble rap shit, but yeah, we fucking do.
I'd do a rap fucking track to me. We even got accused of doing one of the tracks, Divinity Shroud. Yeah, on the album, there's a little bit where I sort of go, "Endless, undeniable, motherfucker's gonna burn, and so on. Oh, it's so fucking rap.
It's a bit rappy shit.
It's not really. It's not really. I'd cover the fucking Carpenters. I'd cover anything as long as we can make it sound fucking cool.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about so during the isolation, you said it's during the lockdown, but you never actually had a lockdown there, don't you?
We did.
Did you have a lockdown?
We had 5 weeks of lockdown. It was amazing.
Right. I think it might have been 6, but I think it was 5.
I was out in the country in my mansion. You know what I mean? Chilling out.
Yeah, I was in the country.
You know, lying around doing fuck all, which I was cool on this.
During that time, you did the video for the new single off the upcoming EP, Evelyn. Do you want to talk about what that's about? It was an interesting story.
Yeah, I'd love to know what it's about, but you might not let me.
No, I need a week. So that's fine. Like we a lot. So I'll be back in a minute.
Cool. So Evelyn is a song about Evelyn Nesbit, who was involved in the scandal in 1906. She was married to a guy called Harry Faw, who killed Stanford White. And I'm not going to say more about that, but it was considered originally the first scandal. It was the first crime of the century. It was the first time the media had jumped on a murder of somebody, especially as it was two wealthy businessmen in a public place. And then all the backstory is just tragic in every single way. And I really took to Evelyn's story and wanted to show her part. She's not the murder victim, but she's almost far worse because she had to suffer through it. In fact, when she was on a deathbed, she said that the man who was murdered was lucky because he died and I survived. And I thought that's such a tragic thing to have to experience. And I want to celebrate that somehow in music. And I hope that if she listened to it, she would appreciate or know that somebody was thinking of her, 100 years or something after the event. And the video was, we couldn't get together. We couldn't get together and make a video what we wanted to. So we said, well, Evelyn was the closest one of the new EP that we all agree on, and that's going to go on the EP. So let's just make the isolation video. And I composited it together and with some footage from the 1956 film, which is about that very story, although it's not as anywhere near as brutal as the reality was, So that's why we showed that. Not because it's a single, but just because it was the first one we had done.
Yeah. Is that what the sound clip at the beginning of the song is from? Is that from the film?
Yeah, and those little bits of in the video, isolation video, that's all from the 1956 film, but Girl in the Red Velvet Swing, which is a reference to the room in which very, very fucking tragic things happened to her. And if you want to know more, go to a Wikipedia page and read it because it's beautiful. There's no point in me wasting your time because there's so many better people who've written about it with far more nuance than I can do in this chat. But the song itself is also, I should tell you that.
It's a great song.
I think it's the best thing.
That's one of the songs where I told Simon to make it better, and he made it better.
I do think it's the best thing ever written.
Do you really?
Because it just felt right. And we finished.
Don't tell him that. They'll watch the video and go, "This is the best thing ever written." I'm not fucking.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it's probably about in the top 50% of good things that have written.
That's,
Right.
that's the same thing, you realise, don't you? But yeah, I see what you're doing there. Yeah.
How did you find out about that? How did you get that as
I was googling.
Should I have my other piss now?
Yeah. No, I was just googling Howard Carter because I wanted to know more about that story. And he turns out he had a wife or a love interest called Evelyn, and the picture of Evelyn Nesbit came up instead. I clicked on that by mistake and boom, down a rabbit hole. So that's how all stories start. All interesting historical things that I like to research come from a click or a random something I've heard. I want to know more, and then you research it and you write songs about it, or put it into your book, or do whatever you can. I mean, not too many people sit down and watch TV and don't go on YouTube and look at the amazing amount of documentaries there are in there. And I love those, and a lot of those are like how a lot of these songs come together. You mean about look over? I can see you in the camera, looking at me like that. It's not like you do.
I was just thinking.
I'm so boring, aren't I?
No, I was just thinking we could use some of that Spotify money and put your fucking heating on.
Put a jumper on, mate. Put a jumper on.
This beautifully appointed and very thick Aeons long sleeve t-shirt
available to buy.
He's wearing terrible on vintage, which nothing. He's going to buy, but he's not.
I can buy some of these if you want. I'm mercenary. I'll sell anything.
He's got his short sleeve metal worker t-shirt on.
Yeah.
So, what? Just like change the subject slightly. So, I take it Skippy's not your given name. Are you not named after the bush kangaroo? Are you? Is that the nickname or something? Or is it?
When I moved to the Isle of Man in 1986, 87, and I went. I'm giving my age away now. I illegally underage went to the pub. I was probably illegal. I don't fucking know. But I got a job, and everyone just assumed I was from Australia. And Home and Away was the biggest thing on TV at the time, and people just like, "Oh, Skippy, mate! Oh, Skippy! Johnny stuck down the well." But I don't mind Skippy because my nickname before that was Bruce.
No.
Yeah, it was.
No.
People call me Bruce. No, I fucking hated Bruce. Yeah. All right, Bruce. So Skippy's all right. But yeah, it's ill-educated Manx people fucking thinking I'm Australian. I don't know how many times I have to tell them that New Zealand's Australia is just a large island off New Zealand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
and of course, New Zealand knows you a debt of gratitude because when you left their average age, you went off.
Whoa! Remember this, kid? New Zealand was colonized and Australia was a fucking penal colony. Just remember that. That's correct. That's why all the cricketers are fucking wankers. That's why they're all cheats and dirty bastard sportsmen. I hope we haven't got anyone from Australia. But if we have,
well, no, because they'll be on the beach, won't they?
Oh, they'll be on the beach. No, they're not allowed. They're locked down.
We have got someone who lives in Australia but comes from South London. He's in the chat at the moment.
Oh, that's all right, mate. You're not a convict. Well, it's from South London.
Yeah, well, kind of. Yeah, it's kind of kindred spirits. Seems like, you know.
It's up in the air whether he's a fucking convict or not. We can't.
New Zealand hasn't got any poisonous snakes as well. Is that right?
No, only the politicians, mate.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, Australia's got like fucking. That's got to be some kind of.
Yeah, because he's here.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be some kind of God thing now, isn't it? God like put all the snakes in Australia and didn't put none in New Zealand. That's got to be some kind of sort of secret message going there. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Australia's like the most deadly country in the world, isn't it? And New Zealand's got like one little poisonous spider. I don't mean one species. I mean just one spider. Yeah. We didn't break rules. So what are we talking about?
I just noticed we have got an Aussie in the chat now. I just realised that. But let's move on.
Hey, you're an Aussie in the chat. What's the band called? Autopsy, Australia's best export.
Apart from Jimmy Barnes.
Oh yeah.
Check out his punk band. He's in a punk band called The Worst. Check them out. So let's talk about it. We've got about 10 minutes left. Tell us about your new EP. When's it coming? What's going to be on it? And what's your plans for the future? Let's get all that fucking in 10 minutes.
4 tracks, but about 40 odd minutes of music.
Whoa!
Maybe 5. We'll have yet to have a discussion. But,
yeah, I might have 5 tracks. I've been thinking that as well.
It's going to be a proper best of in that we've got 12 tracks to choose from. And at that point, just these 5 months is going to be the cream of what we've got right now.
Well, yeah, because we've got enough. We were going to put another album out, and then we thought it'd be quicker to put out an EP, and then we could put out another EP like maybe 6 months later.
And it's also like the modern way, because people like Spirit Box during lockdown were the only band I saw who were doing really well by constantly releasing material on YouTube, material on Spotify, and then just dropping singles essentially.
Yeah,
I've heard that's the way to do it now.
Yeah, but we don't want to do that because there has to be a cognizance to like the tracks. Otherwise, there's no point in creating an album. It's just a collection of songs.
So every EP, we don't know whether we're going to go down the route of releasing an EP every 6 months and having each one themed, because we can sort of drop the songs we've written. Certain songs fit certain themes.
Yeah. And when you put together an album, it don't seem tiring by being the same, because we do a lot of prog stuff. We do a lot of like what I call like floor filler stuff, which we're just banging.
Yeah.
But we don't want to put an album out that's all of that one thing, because that's not what our music taste is about. So it's important to have like a very abstract collection of what we all enjoy. So the second track on this album is going to have to start with a 3-minute acoustic piece, which is pretty brave, really.
And then it drops into a
super brutal
heavy thing,
but
melodic.
You melodic. So the tracks like
everything's melodic. Everything we don't do one chord down tuned, just 4 minutes of stuff. Everything's quite melodic.
You can't write the tab for our guitar with hula hoops, for instance.
No.
So that's important. We get trained that the songs sit well together. We think we've got it.
Yeah.
So it should be, and we're going to do like post-it. I've done post-its for every track, and we're going to put like kind of like Magic the Gathering style cards with the posters in each for CD. So you'll get some artwork. You'll get some artwork, and the artwork reflects the tracks, and there's a theme across the artwork. And so I want people to have this kind of like idea that the album is not just a collection of songs. It's all about the title of the album, which we're not going to tell you right now, but it reflects what we're trying to say about.
It's going to be fucking great.
Yeah. And we're putting so much work into this. It is going to be the best.
The production's improved. I mean, we don't use anyone outside.
Absolutely.
We gave it to a guy to master it, who is a world-renowned master.
He means world-renowned. This guy was on the biggest albums of the 80s.
It came back was super compressed. It was pumping. It was driven up to the point where it lost all its dynamics. And we just thought, we could be kidding ourselves. 5 years we'll look back and fucking the production of it. Shit. But the way we feel right now is it's probably better to do it. And we might throw it to someone to master it. We might find a guy who's a specialist in metal and just say, look, just see if you can make it sound even better than it sounds. And we're happy to try it. But we're getting pretty good results now.
I don't go to sleep. Sometimes
I just sleep like 4 hours.
I just stay awake and watch YouTube videos with our production and learn.
And it still doesn't fucking apply.
I'm still not good at it, but I do my best. So what you've got is our best. But because we're in control of the whole process, we can say when it's ready. We can do what we want. We don't have to give us. If you pay £2,000 to give it to a mixing engineer
and you don't like it,
then you've lost £2,000. Yeah. But if I've done it and he doesn't like it, it's a phone call.
Yeah.
So it's not much.
And maybe a kick in the ass.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it makes sense if you can do it. I think more people should do it.
I think a lot of bands go to metal producers right now, especially modern music, because basically it's all kick drum and it's all snare and it's all vocal. That's it, and you can't hear the guitar. I watched a band called Currents. I love the song called Flag to Wave. I love the song. It sounds great. But on everything I'm listening to, all you're really hearing is the kick drum and the vocals. I can tell roughly what the guitars are doing. I mean, the song still works, but I want to hear what they're like. And so I watched a live video of them, and it's the same mix. Again, that doesn't work for us because we want people to hear what the guitar's doing.
We had a lot of arguments about the mix because initially you like a really loud kick drum, don't you? And we fought a lot about that because I said I want to hear the music. I don't want to be focused on what the kick drum's doing.
There's no as well as one of the modern stuff. The modern stuff is fucking stupid.
Anyway, we'll argue about this after.
So, but essentially, we don't.
If Chris Jennings is still on chat, can you ask him if he wants to come to the pub after this? We're going to the pub.
We got to put in.
Chris, just send us a text if you want to go to the pub.
Or Rovers, don't mind.
So you haven't got 10 o'clock kicking out in the pub that we have in the rest of the world then.
3 o'clock, mate.
Yeah.
The Isle of Man is open for business for people that live here. We have no restrictions at all.
Nothing.
We're very tight on our borders, and we've had people come over and not quarantine straight away, and they've been put in fucking jail. They fired straight off to the jail.
Really?
It was on Yorkshire game, wasn't it? On YouTube, it was complaining because two.
Oh, that fucking Yorkshire idiot! What a knobby!
Five plumbers or whatever welders came over, and they were told to quarantine,
And they went straight to Tesco and bought beer, and they got
they bought beer and sausage rolls because they're from Yorkshire.
hey, sausage rolls. Hey, there's nothing wrong with beer and sausage rolls. Unless you're fucking
From Yorkshire, and so what did we do? We threw him in jail immediately. Threw him in jail.
Yeah, we did. Threw him down at the port, and there's even a thing on the Mirror online where it had the photo of the parents of one of them with a photo, and they're like this. You know the sad thing, the sad story thing, and it's like, mate, he's in Derby prison for 7 days. He's not rotten in Mexico or dead. He's literally just been put to a really cushy prison for 7 days and getting deported.
Well, then there was a story in the newspapers, COVID outbreak at the prison, because it turns out one of the fucking welders had COVID.
Oh, right. So you're fucking, yeah.
So he brought it and he took it to the fucking supermarket.
Yeah.
Anyway, we digress.
Sorry, Graham. Carry on.
All right, then. So we've got about 5 minutes to go. Then when's the album coming? When's the EP coming? Do you reckon?
When he fucking finishes it. It
Right.
should have been out weeks ago, months ago.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So, unfortunately, we're getting into Christmas party season, aren't we? So you can't release an album when all people want to do is listen to Agadoo and listen to some guy talking about the last Christmas.
Mate, we're on the Isle of Man. Even if we release the album to a capacity crowd, that capacity crowd would be 50 people.
Yeah. But there's not people ain't gonna be doing any Christmas parties this year by the looks of it. So maybe you can bring it out at Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, we'll disappoint. All you do is if you're a metal band playing a pub at Christmas on the Isle of Man, you get Christmas parties coming again. Do you play Wonderwall? And you go, seriously, just fuck off.
Yeah.
Fuck off, Brits.
Have you got a name for it yet? The EP?
Oh, we don't want to say that yet because we haven't changed. We haven't got the song.
There'll be fucking consequences if we tell you what that name is. I can tell you. Yeah.
Any? Is just going to be on CD? Any vinyl release? A lot of people are always talking about vinyl again now. You ever planned to?
Okay.
Hang on. And vinyl has its place. But it would cost us a fortune to press maybe 10 copies of itself.
I get emails from spam emails from all these companies who go, hey man, we can do your limited run of 100 LPs. You go, okay, 100 LPs, right? 100. Maybe we can probably do like 50. I don't know, but 100 would be good. How much is it? Oh, it's 10 grand. Okay. Okay.
And it's not even proper wax mastered shit. That's just fucking crap computer fucking crap records. You know what I mean?
It's not glass master. But they have to make some sort of pressing for it first, which is not a glass master. I thought, how much is this shit? And then it turns out that's the average price overall. It's like DJs can factor that in because they sell a lot. Because that's their medium.
We can't even get people listening to us for free. How are we going to fucking make? We're going to make 10 grand worth of fucking vinyl.
Yeah, that's fucking ridiculous, isn't it? Yeah, it's a lot of money.
It's because it's only such a small amount. If you want like 1,000, the price becomes very reasonable. But there's no way we can get 1,000 units. No. I mean, we always just get C90 cassettes, right? Can't even take the play there.
Fucking hell, yeah. Some of them C90s are great, yeah.
So yeah, maybe cassette. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, cassettes are the way forward.
Play like that.
Yeah.
Cassettes. They're the only medium I'm glad to see the back of, but there you go.
We would do wax cylinder, but that's a 3.5 minute.
Okay, so we're coming up towards the end there. There's a couple of more questions in the chat. Just quick one question, one answer from each of you. Favorite non-metal band?
Come on, I know what
Queen.
No.
I think you said Queen earlier, actually.
All right, who's my favourite non-metal band?
Lizzy.
Thin Lizzy is sort of metal.
Can you say Thin Lizzy?
Thin Lizzy.
You can say what you like, mate. What's your favourite moment?
Osric Tentacles.
Okay, cool. And who's your nerd? Quite optimistically asks, do you think you'll ever tour in the US?
Oh, I would fucking love to. They would shoot him.
Yeah.
Seriously,
you know that Borat that made a second Borat and he nearly got killed? That would happen to me.
He would walk in some fucking whiskey tango.
Call them all faggots because they don't fight with their fists, and next thing I'll be dead.
Because he's failed to understand what you do when in the sun.
Open carry. I'm open carry. Look, I've got a beer.
Which you can't do in the street.
Do you know there's a state in America where you can't fucking put men's and women's fucking clothes on the same washing line, but you can go and buy unlimited.
Can
No,
you hear it?
clear. Yeah,
Oh, right.
clear.
You can
Right,
buy
yeah.
unlimited assault rifle ammo, and you can't own more than 5 sex toys. Yeah. And there's one where you can't hold men's and women's underpants on the same next to each other on a washing line.
That's
I know, but you can go and buy fucking AR-15, 1,000 rounds at a time. Yeah, so we've got to come to America because it's crazy, but we probably get shot. Yeah, I'll get shot.
I've been several times.
Probably never will. All right. I saw another question there. Someone said Nick Cave's the best thing to come from Australia. And lastly, another optimistic question. How many groupies do you have?
My wife won't let me have any.
She went, I'm not surprised.
My wife will not let me have any groupies.
No.
Which is good because at my age, I'd much prefer a cup of tea, to be honest.
Yeah.
Nice fucking cup. My wife said you're obsessed with fucking tea. I said I'm at that age where I can have a cup of tea now.
It's the most of that sad wank you had. You told the practice of this.
No, don't mention the sad wank story. No, that's not for the world.
We've had 2 sad wank stories already. We don't need a third one.
Well, this is
Your Majesty.
All right, guys. We've done an hour now. Cheers for coming on. I'll give you finish up, say what you want to say to people, and then we'll call it a night.
Be awesome to each other.
And come and check Aeons out, please. We are surprisingly quite good. we actually surprised ourselves after a couple of years. We just went, do you know what? We are actually surprisingly. We seriously, we could hold our own, I think, against any band out there. So come and listen to us.
What the Marks and Spencers of metal? It's not just metal, is it?
This is Aeons metal. Yeah. And instead of caramel dripping down your face, it's whatever you want to do, something else.
All right, guys. Cheers for coming on. And
thank you very much. Thanks to people for watching. Thank you. Come check us out. Fucking sign up to YouTube. YouTubers, please. Buy a t-shirt. We love you. Buy a fucking t-shirt.
Go to the blog link down below, and you can find all the links for their pages. And while you're there, sub up to my Patreon because I could do the money.
Yeah. Because you're missing your girlfriend, aren't you?
Yeah, for a month.
Your girlfriend, can you? You said in one of your videos you haven't seen it for a month.
Not for a month. Yeah. Right, it's a pain in the ass, isn't it? Well, don't forget when you do get some new stuff out, send it my way so I can play it on the podcast, of course.
Amazing. Awesome, man. Awesome.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks a lot.